And when I look at Coco, I had a chance, obviously, to go to Roland Garros. I was at the French Open. She worked so hard every single match to get to the finals. And I just love the fact that she has not only the will to win, the fight to win. What I loved also is how she just takes the high road, no matter what. We all have heard the comments from Sabalenka, her negativity, talking about Coco wasn't better than her, that Coco didn't beat her, that she lost the match because of her errors. But I just want to say, when you mess with the bull, you get the horn.
Lisa Leslie recently entered the tennis scene and made a statement that has everyone talking. After witnessing Aryna Sabalenka's justifications for losing to Coco Gauff at the French Open, the basketball legend decided that was enough. Leslie didn't hold back when she pointed out the trend of elite players not giving Coco credit for her victories. There is more to this than simply one match or one bitter loser. This has to do with class, respect, and the consequences of messing with an American champion. Do you believe that when Coco Gauff defeats tennis players, they treat her with due respect?
I think today I didn't really handle myself quite well, mentally, I would say. So basically that's it. I was just making unforced errors. Like, I don't know, I have to check the statistics. I think she won the match not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, like, if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy ball.
Lisa Leslie was present at the French Open and witnessed Coco Gauff fight her way to the finals by winning every single match. As a champion who understands what it takes to compete at the top level, Lisa appreciated Coco's effort, tenacity, and resolve throughout the competition. However, Lisa spoke out in support of the young American star following Coco's matches, especially after she defeated Aryna Sabalenka. After losing to Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka went into excuse mode right away. Sabalenka made remarks implying that she beat herself with her own mistakes rather than admitting that she was defeated by a superior player that day. She claimed that the match was lost rather than won and that Coco wasn't superior to her. This type of sour loser mentality demonstrates a total lack of class and an incapacity to accept defeat with any dignity.
And what I love about Coco is that she can't say anything, but these women have come after her, whether it's been Sabalenka, Iga, Rybakina. They've made comments, even when Coco was actually number 3 in the world, they talked about them being the big 3. So every turn she has to face not just her opponent, but the ridicule from her colleagues.
Lisa Leslie was not going to put up with it. She emphasized that you acquire the horns when you tamper with the bull. Lisa ensured that everyone was aware of Sabalenka's error in downplaying Coco's success. Coco's ability to always take the high road is what Lisa values most about her. Coco doesn't react to the criticism. On social media, she doesn't retaliate. She stays out of public disputes. She simply keeps winning and letting her tennis speak for itself. The issue is that this isn't a singular occurrence. There are other elite players who have made disparaging remarks about Coco besides Sabalenka. Eek has completed the task. It has been accomplished by Elena Rybakina. These women consistently fail to give Coco the credit she merits when she defeats them. These same guys were bragging about themselves as the big 3, completely ignoring Coco, even when he was rated 3rd in the world. The disdain is genuine and persistent.
Playing against an American who's our top American, have some respect, one, and lose with class. And I just feel like it's not right for them to try and depict her as someone who she's only barely winning because we're not playing our best. Guess what? We all lace up and you got to play your best. If it's a championship and we all get there, on championship day, you still got to play your best. It doesn't matter about what the stats said last week and how you got there. Show up that day and play your best. And because Sabalenka didn't play her best, she decided to take the low road and try and criticize what Coco has accomplished. But I just want Coco to know, as we all have shared and shown our love, that we in America, we support you. We're happy and we thank you the way that you carry yourself with such class and grace. And for all the other players, be careful what you say, because we're coming back after you. You don't get a chance to take down our hero. She's our hero, and we're so happy in celebrating Coco Gauff.
Lisa Leslie emphasized how Coco must deal with not only her rival on the court, but also the mockery and contemptuous remarks from her coworkers, who ought to be encouraging. These are meant to be other professionals who are aware of how difficult it is to compete at this level. Rather, they are disparaging Coco and attempting to downplay her successes. It's not a competition that's petty. That is the most repulsive manifestation of insecurity. It is quite ironic that players like Sabalenka would make such remarks. She is out there claiming that Coco's victory was solely due to her poor performance. As if Coco could influence Sabalenka's performance in any way. Here's an idea. Coco may have prevented Sabalenka from giving her finest performance. Perhaps Sabalenka made mistakes because of Coco's strategy, shot selection, mobility, and mental tenacity. Excellent players do just that. They compel their rivals to make errors. Lisa raised a topic that should be shouted from the rooftops. Oh, compete. Everyone puts on their shoes. You have to give it your all on championship day. It makes no difference what transpired the previous week or what the statistics indicate about your performance. You had better bring everything you've got when you onto the court in a final. That was not done by Sabalenka. More precisely, Coco prevented her from doing it. The outcome is the same in either case. Sabalenka was defeated by Coco. The story comes to an end. Top players' justifications for losing against Coco point to a bigger issue. They are unable to acknowledge that this young American talent is defeating them in a fair and impartial manner. They must fabricate stories to shield their egos. They must come up with explanations for their defeats other than acknowledging that Coco outperformed them. Lisa Leslie accurately pointed out how pitiful it is. Because Lisa is an experienced person, her defense of Coco is all the more compelling. Lisa Leslie is a Hall of Famer, a 3-time WNBA MVP, and a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. She understands what it's like to be questioned. She understands what it's like when you beat someone and they start making excuses. She understands what it's like to act politely while others choose to act cruelly. Because she has experienced it herself, her viewpoint is valuable. The statement that Coco is America's hero and that everyone should watch what they say because we're coming back after you is spot on. Lisa is essentially issuing a warning to the tennis community. You can't treat an American champion disrespectfully and expect no repercussions. These repercussions may not occur on the tennis court, but they will manifest in the shape of public opinion, media criticism, and a fan base that will not put up with its champion being destroyed by bitter losers. In handling all of this, Coco Gauff has demonstrated incredible maturity. She is just in her 20s, and guys who ought to know better are treating her disrespectfully, dismissively, and with envy. She keeps her cool, speaks intelligently in interviews, and keeps raising her game rather than lowering herself to their level. That's what defines a real champion. It is impossible to teach that kind of character. Even after Coco rose through the ranks and won a Grand Slam, the trend of disdain for her began early in her career and hasn't ceased. People believed she was overhyped when she was younger. They said it was luck when she began to win. They also managed to downplay her victory at the US Open. She is now routinely defeating elite players, and they continue to offer justifications. When will these players and their supporters acknowledge that Coco is simply exceptionally talented at tennis? Given that Coco had a fantastic game, Sabalenka's remarks following their defeat were particularly absurd. She was a good server. She came back much better. Additionally, she demonstrated mental toughness during difficult times. That's not a person who is barely getting by. That's a tennis player competing at the championship level and defeating one of the world's top players. However, Sabalenka was unable to cope with that fact. In order to beat herself, she made her own version. Not to be overlooked is the double standard. Nobody questions it when elite players defeat Coco. Nobody claims that Coco's poor play was the only reason they won. Nobody proposes that an asterisk should be placed next to the triumph. However, after Coco defeats them, the story abruptly turns to mistakes, bad days, and everything other than the obvious fact that Coco was the superior player on that particular day. It's clear. It's pitiful. Lisa Leslie was correct to point it out. Lisa's statement that athletes must win and lose with class is essential to sports. The goal of competition is to educate you how to accept both success and defeat with grace. Respecting your opponent, recognizing their expertise, and moving on to the next bout are all expected. That fundamental measure of sportsmanship is being failed by Sabalenka and others. They are demonstrating that their egos are too brittle to bear losing to someone they don't believe ought to be defeating them. The statement that Coco is the best American player and should be respected for that reason alone is intriguing. Lisa is appealing to a sense of patriotic pride in this. Americans are fiercely protective of their heroes, particularly when those heroes present themselves in the manner that Coco does. There is a rally around the flag effect when you witness someone representing your country with distinction and quality being destroyed by foreign rivals. Lisa is doing a great job directing that energy. Whether she is aware of it or not, Coco's ability to continuously choose the high road is actually strategic brilliance. Every time someone like Sabalenka offers an explanation or makes disparaging remarks, it makes them appear trivial and small-minded. Coco appears mature and self-assured by remaining above it. Coco benefits greatly from the contrast. Her results and character speak for themselves, therefore she doesn't need to defend herself. Players like Sabalenka must acknowledge that Coco is here to stay. She is not a quick fix. She won't leave. She will continue to improve, win games, and accrue titles. Everyone will benefit if these players acknowledge this and begin treating her with the dignity she deserves. However, individuals like Lisa Leslie will continue to call them out as long as they continue to make excuses. Lisa's observation that Coco put in a lot of effort in every game to reach the finals provides crucial background. This player didn't have a lot of fortuitous breaks or an easy draw. All of Coco's victories were earned. She had to persevere through difficult games, handle pressure, and carry out her strategy against elite opponents. Because of this, players like Sabalenka's disparaging remarks are much more offensive. They are discounting a whole tournament's worth of effort rather than just one game. Lisa brought up the Big Three conversation, which is especially fascinating. Players like Sabalenka, Suyuate, and Ryakina were referring to themselves as the Big Three, and totally disregarding Coco's rating while she was ranked third in the world. It's not a coincidence. It was a conscious decision to keep her out of the discussion. It's the kind of cruel girl behavior that is obviously present in professional sports but shouldn't be. The irony is that Coco is being motivated by these players' disparaging remarks and justifications. Every time someone claims that Coco only prevailed because they didn't play well, it gives her more motivation to win. Every time someone excludes her from discussions about the best players, she is inspired to disprove them. By treating her disrespectfully rather than simply recognizing her skill and moving on, they are making their own worst nightmare. The fact that Lisa Leslie's defense of Coco attracts attention from outside the tennis community makes it noteworthy as well. Fans of basketball who may not be very interested in tennis are now aware of the circumstance. As more people learn about Coco and the mistreatment she endures, her fan base grows and she gains more support. This is more than just a tennis tale because of Lisa's reputation and platform. It's a sports tale about dignity, respect, and defending champions. As Lisa pointed out, Coco's elegant and sophisticated demeanor deserves more praise. Coco demonstrates that it is possible to be both competitive and modest in a period when athletes are frequently urged to be bold and confrontational. You may defeat without justifications and triumph without conceit. If athletes like Sabalenka were prepared to control their egos, they could learn from that. Lisa's caution that you should be careful what you say because people will follow you is spot on. She is warning the tennis community that there are repercussions for dismissing Coco. These repercussions could include media criticism, social media reaction, or simply a devoted following. The message is clear in any case. Be respectful or endure the heat. Sabalenka had every chance to deal with her grief in a classroom setting. She may have stated that Coco performed admirably, that she gave it her all, and that it was simply not her day. The appropriate professional response would have been that. Rather, she opted to downplay Coco's achievement and offer justifications. People like Lisa Leslie will make sure that decision follows her. The way we handle young champions, particularly young women of color, is the larger problem here. Coco experiences a degree of scrutiny and contempt that many of her contemporaries do not. It is draining to witness and must be even more draining to experience her continual drive to prove herself despite her outcomes. It is important for Lisa Leslie to acknowledge that and speak up about it because it calls out those who are causing Coco's suffering and affirms what she is going through. Lisa's statement that everyone must put on their shoes and be prepared to compete is a cornerstone of sports philosophy. On game day, there are no justifications. Do-overs don't exist. Either you perform or you don't. Sabalenka's performance was insufficient to defeat Coco, and she attempted to change history rather than acknowledge that fact. Lisa was not going to put up with it, and neither should anyone else. Coco needs to hear Lisa's love and support more frequently, as she did at the end of her remarks. She deserves to know that people value her character, acknowledge her talent, and encourage her on her path. Instead of having her achievements downplayed by envious rivals, she should be honored for them. It matters that Lisa Leslie give voice to the thoughts of millions of Coco's fans. Lisa Leslie gave a masterclass on calling out bad sportsmanship and protecting a champion. When Coco defeats Aryna Sabalenka and others, they should learn how to lose with grace. Coco Gauff is a champion who exudes elegance. Regardless of whether they enjoy losing to her or not, she deserves respect from her rivals. Click like and subscribe if you like Lisa Leslie's defense of Coco and want to hear more honest discussions about sports and the people that create them.